the one thing that I do track like religiously is my steps.
Do you track anymore? Like,
I mean, I do, if I'm making some changes or if I just need to keep myself honest, you know, on some stuff. And I will say, like, I mean, I talked about this with like the one that I like Lane Norton's Carbon app is actually a pretty good app, like for tracking, because it kind of gives you, even with keto, and this is not a plug, I just thought it was kind of cool. I don't know what they did kind of with the math there, but basically like even with keto, like I could put in my food and then it will kind of adjust and sort of give you a breakdown of, hey, here's where you should be if you want to lose weight. Here's where you should be if you want to gain weight. And it kind of has a whole system that's algorithmically kind of tailored with that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool app. So I do that just to kind of gain insight based on my activity and things like that. No, the things that I track the most, because I know where I stand for the most part, my calories, I'm not increasing my activity extraordinarily or decreasing it extraordinarily. I generally know where I am week over week. So I try to like get a baseline. I know what's in a tablespoon of peanut butter. I know so I generally know where I am at the end of the week. The one thing that I do track like religiously is my steps. And I know Mark's huge on that.
Yeah,
and you know, it sort of, shouldn't say our relationship ever fizzled, Mark. I've always loved you. But the, you know,
Did I go wrong somewhere?
No, but what rekindled sort of my, my interest in a lot of your stuff is when you got big into the steps again. Cause I'm like, oh sweet. Now you're speaking my language. Cause I'm like so big into that. And, so yeah, I think that's the biggest lever that we can pull.
Yeah.
Is just how much we're moving throughout the day. That non-exercise activity thermogenesis, that's like so big. And when it hit with me, like it's always kind of hit with me, but it hit with me big time last year. I took the kids to Disneyland and I was like, after 3 days at Disneyland, I was like, holy shit, I'm so like, got so lean. What happened? Like, you know, and I wasn't eating park food or anything, but I mean, abstaining from like certain foods. Cause I was just, in some ways it's easier because I'm just flat out not going to eat park food. So there's no temptation whatsoever because that's like definitely a no-go. But then when I look back at my steps, I'm like 30,000, 35,000 steps, pushing a stroller. I was like, holy crap, you know, walking 22 miles or something. I'm like this, and it didn't feel like I was doing it. We have such a warped perception of how many calories we burn during a workout because the perceived exertion fucks with our head.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we had a hard workout this morning. We were huffing and puffing. It was a good workout, right? So it's easy to think because for that concentrated period of time, we were working so hard that we burned 700 calories. No, we probably burned 2. You know, sure, there's different metabolic things that come into play, but it is a much bigger lever to pull to just move throughout the day than it is to try to get the hardest workout possible. And it's like, we just become so mind fucked by that because we're just like, oh my God, I didn't get a good workout in. Just go walk, you know, especially for the regular person. I mean, we're all fitness people. We have different goals. Some of our businesses depend on looking a certain way and doing things. So there's different pressures there. And yes, but for the 99% of the population, like if you're pissed off because you didn't burn 500 calories to your workout, guess what? Like you probably wouldn't anyway. It's more about like how much you're moving throughout the course of the day. So that's the one thing that I track because that can get very distorted because there's a lot of days where I feel like I moved a lot and I didn't, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, sometimes the Apple Watch isn't always accurate, but it's fairly accurate. And then there's other days where I actually felt like I was pretty dormant and sedentary. I'm like, oh man, I actually got 15,000 steps today. I guess walking around Target with the family actually did add up. So it's like these things that you would never think about because I know that I screw myself in my head, like with the whole workout mentality. It's like, man, like I didn't work out today, but I actually walked 15,000 steps around Target with my wife. And I actually net ended up actually burning more than had I not missed my workout.
Yeah. We got super sidetracked when Mark had asked you about like Slim Jims like myself fasting. So if somebody is trying to gain size, you know, not necessarily just like a dirty bulk, right? But just trying to add some size, should they just completely avoid fasting?
No, I don't think so. I think because fasting is still really good for that insulin sensitivity piece that can help you with that. So I feel like, you know, maybe doing it as like a reset, like 1 or 2 days per week, you know, that way it remains, again, the anomaly. You know, so you're like fasting like 1 day a week with like a 20-hour fast and then, you know, keeping the calories decently high. So what I found is that fasting operates as a nice little like stopgap to keep you from getting too fat when you're bulking because that way you can add more calories. Point. Yeah. It's kind of like a quick correction because nothing is going to like, it's almost like if you did a 24-hour fast, okay, let's say you're eating 3,000 calories a day because you're trying to bulk, okay, and that would normally make you fat. Well, nothing is going to be more aggressive than taking one of those days and not eating at all, because that basically put you into a 3,000 calorie deficit. That's pretty significant. It's way easier than measuring out your food, if you ask me. So it's like you get all these growth signals for 6 days out of the week, and then you get one aggressive drop, keeps your insulin levels in check, make sure that you're staying lean and insulin sensitive. So I find that like people that are bulking, like it's a great modulator to not get fat with a bulk.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel because we continue to bring you peak content on this channel. Obviously, you guys are here. You guys have watched the whole video. So like, comment, subscribe. All right. See you later.